I'm here with Chester P at the Student Union in Bristol.
Bristol.
A few questions for you. What came first, chicken or egg?
Wow, that's a great question. I believe... I don't know, actually. That's a really interesting question.
Okay.
I personally think perhaps it was molecules, and they formed the chicken, and then... Yeah.
All right, next. The cry or the wank?
The crow or the wank?
The cry or the wank?
I don't know. What's the association between cry? Do people cry when they wank?
Apparently.
I'm married, so I'm
We
good.
learned tonight they do.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
married.
a new thing.
I rarely wank.
Okay, so this leads to the next one. The spoken word or the rap?
For me,
yeah.
Rap came
So I was
first.
going somewhere with this one, you know.
Yeah. it's got a direction. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, rap first for me, definitely. But presumably spoken word came before rap.
Yeah, so that's basically a rhythmic American poetry. For those who don't know what rap stands for, that's where it was. But for you, the hip hop, and then you started doing more spoken word.
Yeah, definitely.
So why the transition from hip hop to spoken word?
It just seemed a couple of reasons. It just seemed a natural thing to do for me, and it interests me. I like words anyway, and it's just a different way to express myself. And I felt like I'm a complete unique character for the spoken word scene. And I thought, yeah, they need a bit of me, really. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's not complete. I'm the cherry on top of their smelly cake.
I must say, I really liked your Fly and the Spider.
The Valiant Flea.
Indeed, I'm a massive Dr. Seuss fan, especially Green Eggs and Ham, Sam I Am.
Me
you know?
too.
So, what made you like that? Are you good with kids? Are you a father?
Not father. I am a dog person myself, and she doesn't like children, the dog. So it prevents me from having any. That's what I tell my missus anyway.
Good excuse.
I'm great with kids though. Like I have a great relationship with kids. I'm currently writing a lot of kids stuff. Like currently, a friend of mine has a terminally ill child, and I write her and her sister personalised poems and stuff and record them. And I like children. I think they're the future, so it's important.
So going along that route with your friend with the terminally ill child, is that who we spoke about before? And
Yeah.
you're going to do some charity
I'm going to
fundraising?
help raise some money to send them off to a dream holiday in Disneyland. Yeah.
So anyone that's watching that, is there anything they can do to help?
As
along
of
that
yet,
journey?
not yet, because I haven't even set that ball rolling really. I'm still
Watch
kind
this
of.
space.
Yeah, it's coming very soon. Yeah.
So when I first met you a couple of weeks back, we were handing out sleeping bags to the homeless in Bristol, which you've been doing quite all around really.
Yeah.
And that all stemmed from what, an album that you did with artists?
Yeah, it comes from a compilation I put together and put out on my label, which is called Real Talk. The compilation's called Real Talk Compilation. It's got like 26 tracks from various artists in the UK, probably about 30 different artists in total. Some have worked together on one of their tracks, and sold that. It raised like £6,000 odd or something. Bought a load of sleeping bags, socks, blah blah blah, flasks and stuff to take out and distribute to the homeless. We've done Manchester, Birmingham, Bristol, about to do Brighton and London. I do frequently anyway, just go out and hand out stuff. Always socks, like socks is the most needed thing.
And forgotten about.
You know, anyone can get into that though. It's like, especially since we've been Sports Direct is liquidising, they're selling like 12 pairs of socks for £3 or something.
Wow.
You buy 10 sets of them, you got 120 pairs of socks for 30 quid. That's 120 people you can give a warm feet, and socks are the most needed things besides sleeping bags, which are much more affordable, obviously, socks. So anyone watching who wants to do something like that, 30 quid, what's that, like 5 spliffs, you could actually give 120 people socks.
And feel good about
And
yourself.
feel good about helping people.
Why was that a personal thing to you? You just wanted to do something good, or have you felt that experience yourself?
No, I mean, I've been on the breadline a long time. I understand poverty, and I also understand that a lot of homeless people suffer from mental health issues, drug issues, alcohol issues, which is something I relate to personally from my own experiences in life. And to be honest, I just figure the more people who help people in their own environment, the better, just a better life would be for us all, you know what I mean? But I help anyone for any reason. I don't care what walk of life you're from or what class. If someone asks me for help and it's legitimate, and I can help them, then I will help them, you know, and that's just the way I was raised, really.
I can cut this bit out if you like, but earlier on you mentioned cannabis and what it's done to your brain and remembering things. Knowing what you know now about it, what would you say to people out there who are smoking it? Would you say do it more recreationally? Cane it in? I have no opinion?
That's it. It's not I don't have an opinion. I don't believe my opinion it needs to be enforced on anyone else. For me personally, at this time in my life, I don't want to drink, smoke or take any kind of drugs, recreationally or shamanically.
Do you feel better
LSD,
for it?
yeah, I do. LSD is the only thing that like I would consider doing under shamanic rule, you know what I mean? Like I can go good places with that stuff, but that's a whole different story.
So knowing what you know about it, rather than preaching to someone or anything, if you could just tell your own personal experience of it, if you could go back and change things, would you smoke less weed, knowing how your brain has become now, or is it
I
a
wouldn't
journey?
change anything. Everything that's happened to me has made me who I am today. The truth be known, like I have a very addictive personality. That's just me. Yeah, that's not everyone else. Some people can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it's never really going to damage their lives. All these things were crutches to me and were damaging my life, so I stopped doing them because that was the only choice I had: stop completely or continue completely. So I personally just stopped. I think it's worth people analysing what they're ingesting and what they're smoking and understanding the drugs that they're taking and what it could or couldn't do to your head and your body. And you know, if you're gonna sit and smoke weed and get paranoid and look at the sky and go, chemtrails, blood, chemtrails, that gives people cancer. So does smoking, you know what I mean? You know, like we should think about them things. But we are all hypocrites and we all have these little traits because we're learning. We're primates, we're learning.
Where do you see Chester P going in the future with your music? Are you going to carry on the same direction? Have you got any new tricks up your sleeve?
I've got a new album coming. I'm pretty much going in the same direction, except I'm coming away from sampling and stuff, and I've started like playing an upfront role in the production of my music. Me and Farms are going to start working again and even possibly do a final Task Force tour, which will probably be quite exciting. But I work with a fella over there who plays all kinds of instruments, and I'm learning guitar, and that's the direction I'm going in. We plan to do like a folk album, and maybe even like a punk ska type album, as well as the hip hop album.
Learning guitars helping to bring a bit more melody to the rhythm.
Definitely. Well, it's just teaching me musicality a little bit more. You know what I mean? Something what I've always depended on, just hearing a good sample, chopping it right, and I'm not taking anything away from that art form. People who do it well do it incredibly, but I kind of just want to play music now, you know. Yeah. But writing and stuff, I feel like the solo album I've got coming, I feel like in my head, when I've been making it for the past year nearly, for about 11 months, and I wanted it to be something that stood up with From the Ashes, you know, and like I needed it to stand up with that. So I'm hoping it does the job. I feel proud of it. So
good. Is there anyone new or old that you would recommend to the listeners to really check out that you're digging at the moment?
There's loads of people who I think are worth listening to. I think a couple of younger guys who are quite impressive. There's a young guy called Callahan, who's got a wonderful SBTV. He's seriously got some bars in that, and he's got I've linked with him, and he's come around my house and recorded a few tunes, and he's a very impressive rapper. He's got a lot to say, and he's got a great style. And then there's another young guy who's getting quite famous anyway, who I'm sure most people know, called Santan Dave, and I think he's another brilliant rapper. And then without trying to seem like it's just a family thing, my nephew and his crew are called Black Boulevard, and they're pretty fantastic poet rappers. Like they're somewhere else. They're kind of terrifying, you know what I mean? Like, but what they do is so intensely deep that it's going to take a lot of people, a lot of listeners to even understand what's happening.
Do you think you influenced him a lot in that respect?
I think there's been an influence on him, but he's definitely his own person.
Yeah,
he's definitely his own person, and his style is nothing like mine or his father's. But he's had it. He was rapping when he was 7. You know? Wow. We've had him on songs since he was 9. When he was in his mum's belly, we used to play Wu-Tang through the speaker into her belly, and we was like Wu-Tang. He's
I
influenced.
wonder if that had a massive effect on
It
him.
would have an effect on anyone having old dirty bastards shout at you while you're a fetus. You know what I mean?
When I was pregnant, Pampers sent me this CD of all these different tracks to play to your baby, and then showed you what it sounded like. And one of them was the theme tune from the Omen, Damien.
Cool.
You know, and I was like, right, okay, I'm not sure where this is
It's a
going,
great
but
tune.
you know.
Yeah, great tune. Really good soundtrack.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate chatting
Thank
to you, and yeah, all the work that you're doing is really inspiring, I think,
Cool,
to a lot
man.
of
Well,
people.
thank you for your help when I was here doing it. I'm Chester P. Hackenbush. I represent Task Force and Real Talk Records. You can buy the Real Talk compilation at www.realtalk-records.com. That's available now, digital format only. All of the money from that goes to helping homeless people and other people who I come across who could use some help. Otherwise, just be yourselves, be individuals. Don't let no one discourage you from being yourself. Be happy, be free. Don't watch the politicians. That's a miserable road. Just keep living, you know what I mean? Like, things will be all right. They really will. Things will be all right.